Hey y'all, it's your favorite Armadillo Lord here, and with the slots as well as my 4th gym badge in my sights, I have a few obstacles in my way before I can get to the best part of the game. This is how my journey went. I started this journey by looking for Mr. Fuji, as his workers are worried about his well-being. During my investigation, I bumped into my rival who challenged me to a 5th battle with him. Before I could take it out, Tristan decided to switch out Pidgeotto for his Jolteon, so it could take and resist Pikachu's attack. Jolteon claims first blood as he takes out my Pikachu, and I have to send out Mr. Mime to avenge my loss against his starter Pokemon. It doesn't take him too long to even things out as Jolteon goes down and a weakened Pidgeotto is back in, only for it to get quickly knocked out and have my rival down to his last Pokemon, the shiny Gloom. Gloom was able to survive Mr. Mime's attack and took out my Pokemon. Now I'm having to send out Charmeleon to finish the job, which he does with ease, and with Gloom down, I notch my 5th victory against my rival. Before I can heal my Pokemon, I spot the Rocket Trio talking about some interesting stuff that I have to investigate at some point. Once I heard all of that and healed up, I went back into the Pokemon Tower to train up my team to be ready for the next leg of our journey. I hit the stopping point of our training in the tower when I encountered the unidentified ghost that was blocking the way to the top of the tower. Once all that training was done, I went to Route 8 to make sure my team was up to snuff and fill my coffer. Once I was done collecting experience and money, I took the underground path to make my way to the next city. Once I make it to Celadon, I explore what the city has to offer me. The city was kind enough to give me some tea from an old lady to quench the greatest of thirsts. I then found an Eevee that was abandoned on a desk, so naturally I had to take it with me. With the old lady's tea, I gave it to a thirsty guard who allowed me to cross the gate to get into Saffron City. I then made the rash decision to challenge the fighting dojo underleveled, but I was determined to complete it and get the prize the dojo holds. Despite the level differences, I defeated most of the trainers and all that was left was the head of the dojo. Once he's dealt with, I can claim my reward. With auto leveling up done from all the trainers, it caused my Mr. Mime, whom I received from a trade, to disobey me and only do what it wanted to do. Despite Mr. Mime being so stuck up, I was able to clinch a victory that would have been much easier had he just listened to me. After all that, I was able to claim my prize and I chose to have Hitmonlee be my reward and a member of my team. Speaking of my team, I did what Ash wouldn't do with his Charizard and gave my disobedient Mr. Mime the boot, as I can't have a non-compliant member weighing down the team. To remedy the void, I caught an Abra to take its place, which I quickly evolved into Kadabra to make it more combat effective. Once I was done training out my new Pokemon, I got a coin case from a failed gambler so I can show the failure how it's done. I begin by hitting the slots to get these babies ready for me to hit it big. As a professional gambler, it doesn't take me too long to hit the jackpots, unlike that washed up has-been who rightfully gave up their coin case to a true winner. However, I noticed that I wasn't getting enough jackpots like I should have been, and I noticed the bad luck aura coming from the gym, so I had to challenge it to eliminate the negative aura. I quickly dealt with the trainer so I could challenge Erica to get the next gym badge and remove the hindrance to my gambling luck. To get back to the slots, I take out Tangela with ease. Next up is Victor Bell, and she didn't fare better against Kadabra. Gloom shares the same fate as Victor Bell, going down easily to Kadabra. However, Kadabra wasn't able to take out her last Pokemon, Vileplume, and is down for the count, so I sent in Charmeleon to try to finish the job, which she was unable to do, and my other Pokemon weren't able to do too much against Vileplume, so I need to train up my team for the rematch. Alongside the training, I decided to use some of my gambling winnings, which I can easily win back, of course, to buy my girl Charmeleon some charcoal for her fire-type attacks to get a boost. For my rematch, I decided to send out Charmeleon first so I can save Kadabra to deal with Vileplume. The gamble pays off, as Charmeleon easily took down the other 3 Pokemon, damaging Vileplume, leaving Kadabra with an easy time to take down the last Pokemon, and awarding me my 4th badge. After that, I go back to my happy place and gamble away for the riches and glory. Noticing that my winnings are still smaller than what they normally are, I sense the negative gamble luck from Team Rocket, so I need to find their base. Once I'm in their base, I work as quickly as possible to clear out the base of the Rocket Runs, as their bad aura is screwing up my gambling energy. Before I could give the boss of Team Rocket a piece of my mind for interfering with my gambling, the Rocket Trio were blocking my path to him. Once I quickly dealt with them, I had a little chat with Giovanni and told him that his presence was ruining my luck at the slots, and he needed to leave. He didn't take it well, and he challenged me to a battle where he got first blood as he took out my war total, so I sent in Hitmonlee to avenge him. It doesn't take long, as Persian is easily taken out by the fighting type Pokemon, and Giovanni sends out another normal type Pokemon, Kangaskhan, to try and defeat my Hitmonlee, only for my boy to make quick work of her and bring Giovanni down to his last Pokemon, Rhyhorn. Despite Hitmonlee's good run, Rhyhorn was the one to take him out, and he was able to get off a good hit on Rhyhorn, leaving it open to get easily knocked out. So I sent in Ivysaur to quickly finish off the battle, kick Giovanni out, and I could go back to my game. Once I had enough of the slots for the day, I went back to the Pokemon Tower with a Silph Scope to see the spirits in this tower. I can now identify the spirit that was blocking the top of the tower as a Marowak, and I fight it to get it out of my way. Once Marowak was dealt with and put at rest, I could explore the top of the tower without much hindrance. However, the Rocket Trio turns into a last-minute obstacle before I can talk to Mr. Fuji, and they challenge me into another Pokemon battle. The battle doesn't start out great, as Ivysaur is already down and I have Pikachu take its place, only for her to also go down quicker than expected, so now I have to send in Kadabra to replace Pikachu. After having such a rough time, I finally knocked out the Eradicate after both it and Golbat were being passed to me. Only for my troubles to continue as Hitmonlee is taken down, and now I have to send in Charmeleon to take his place. Things get a bit better for me as I'm going to take down that Arbok of theirs, leaving them with only 2 Pokemon left and me with 3 Pokemon. Only for them to reduce it to 2 Pokemon left as they ruthlessly gang up on my Charmeleon and knock out my poor girl. So now I have to send in Wartortle as a replacement and hope my last 2 Pokemon survive. My luck turns around again in my favor as we're able to take down Weezing, leaving only 1 Pokemon left to deal with. Finally, I take down Golbat, clinching a very unexpected narrow victory, but I'll take the win when I can get one. Once the Rocket Trio has left, I make sure Mr. Fuji is safe and take him back to his house. As a reward, he gives me a Pokeflute, which will prove useful against the Snorlax blocking the paths. But that will have to be for the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe for more content like this, and hopefully I'll see y'all next time.